Hey, Cross City, Pastor Andrew here. Hey, I just wanted to take a second and remind you and encourage you to join us this Sunday for our intro class and then following subsequent Anvil study on the topic of sin. And we really just believe that this topic is really important for us to understand and to have a really good grasp on what God says in His Word about sin and what sin is and how it affects us as people. We know that all around us, we're constantly hearing messages of what's right and what's wrong, who's right and who's wrong. Messages like follow your heart and be true to yourself, and we need to be able to learn how to discern these things well and process them. And what does it mean for us? Should we follow our hearts or not? And all of this, and we know. So this is an important topic in that regard, but we also know that this topic is right in the middle of the gospel conversation. As we think about the gospel for ourselves, as we think about sharing the gospel with other people, we have to understand what God says to be true about who we are apart from Him and what we're like when He changes our hearts. And so we know that any good doctor is going to tell you that in order to fully and rightfully treat a patient, you first have to be able to diagnose what the problem is accurately. If we don't know the full scope and the severity of the affliction that we have, we're not going to be able to recognize and really fully appreciate the remedy that's been given to us through Jesus. And then finally, we know that as we walk our Christian lives here on this earth, though God has freed us from the penalty of sin and we are no longer slaves to sin, we know that we are going to continue to battle and fight against sin through the power of the Spirit. So we want to be able to know our enemy well and know how to fight against sin so that we can walk in the way that God has for us to walk. So we encourage you to join us this Sunday at 1 right after church for the intro class, and we're hopefully going to give you some of these tools to take and to use then in a subsequent Anvil study on the 25th. You don't have to come to both, but we encourage you to, and we would love to see you there. So we love you, and we hope that you'll consider joining us. Thanks.